Welcome to an introduction to MaxSurf presented by Patrick Cowser. What are we going to look at in this presentation? Well, we shall cover a brief overview of MaxSurf and what each of the different modules do, what gets installed with MaxSurf and where you can find it on your computer, as well as other resources that are available to get you started and where you can turn to for help. We'll look at launching the applications, and finally some basic navigation of the application's user interface and a look at some of the common features. Within MaxSurf are a range of applications, each with its own specific function. The main application is Modeler, which is used to generate your ship model. It is a 3D NURB surface modeling application in which you can either create your NURB surface model from scratch or import existing models or data from external sources. Modeler is the application where you will normally start. Once the model has been created in Modeler, it can be used for analysis in the other applications. Stability is used to define compartmentation and tank layout, loading conditions, and a number of other details. With this additional information, it can calculate the intact and damaged stability of the vessel, as well as perform a broad range of other hydrostatic analyses. Resistance is used to estimate the calm water drag of the hull using a range of regression-based resistance formula applicable to a variety of monohull vessel types, as well as a numerical method which can be applied to multi-hull vessels. A companion application, VPP, is used to estimate the performance of sailing monohulls. Motions is used to estimate the vessel motions in waves. Strip theory for heave and pitch motions of slender ship forms operating with forward speed, and a zero-speed radiation diffraction method which can be applied to a greater variety of marine vehicles and computes all 6 degrees of freedom. Both are inviscid potential methods, and viscous damping is taken into account with coefficients provided by the user. It can also compute performance metrics such as acceleration, motion sickness incidence, etc. Structure is used to generate the primary structural elements of the vessel which conform to the hull shape. That is to say, transverse frames, longitudinal stiffeners and bulkheads, decks and hull plating. These are defined parametrically so they can easily be recalculated should the hull form be modified without having to actually redefine them. Multiframe is used to analyse the structural response of frame and stiffened panel structures under loads. This can be quite useful for the analysis of topsides or structures on the topsides, deck grillages, etc. And Shape Editor enables definition of custom beam sections and calculation of their properties. So where can you go to find your MaxSurf application and installer? Well, the best starting point is the Bentley website, which you'll find here, www.bentley.com. And if you go to the products page, you'll see MaxSurf down here. It loads the MaxSurf product page. You can scroll down and view some more details on the MaxSurf. So there's a description of some of the capabilities, and at the bottom there's even more product information here that can be downloaded. But you'll also notice further up, to obtain a version, even a trial version, contact your local sales distributor and they can give you access to the installer. We'll now look at the installation, assuming you've got the installer file. So the installer will tell you which version is going to be installed. Simply click on the install button. And now we can go through the setup wizard with the various options. So here we have the 3 different levels of MaxSurf: MaxSurf Enterprise, MaxSurf Advanced and MaxSurf. Make sure you install the one that you've purchased the license for. In this case I'm going to install MaxSurf Enterprise. If you're going to use a trial version, then use MaxSurf Enterprise as well. It's best to leave it at the default installation directory. Once installed, you'll be given the option of displaying the release note, which tells you about the new features in this version, and also launching the select license activation wizard. It's worth doing the activation wizard at this point so you can use the software. And here you will be given a number of different options. So normally you'll use a select subscriber activation that you will be sent if you purchase the software. But if you just want to use the evaluation version, which I'll do here, then just click on the evaluation version, and that will give you a 7-day trial license. So now I've installed the application. What have I got? We'll look at the local hard drive first. And here you'll see my local hard drive, because I installed the 32-bit version of MaxSurf on a 64-bit operating system, it will be in the program files x86, otherwise it would be in program files. If I go there, I can find Bentley, and then Offshore, and then MaxSurf. And here you'll see the applications, but also a number of folders with sample designs, reference designs. So if I go into the samples designs, you'll see them sorted by ship type, and within each ship type there's a number of different models. So there's a lot of sample designs that you can open and see how they're done and give you a starting point. There's also the help files, which are in the same folder. So if I just go back to the main MaxSurf folder, you'll see the PDF files, which are the manuals, which are also located there. There it can also be accessed by pressing F1 or going to the help command within the application. There's also quite a number of other resources which are mainly available online, and in this latest version of MaxSurf that's accessible from the application. So I'll launch the application. So when you start the application, by default the license selection dialog will be shown at startup. This can be turned off if you like, and this allows you to choose exactly which license you want to run the software under. So I'll just click OK there and the application will start. So here's the blank application. So if I've got a Bentley ID and I'm logged in through the connection client, I can go to my personal portal, and this will give me access to quite a few other resources. So first of all, we have access to Bentley communities. So if I click on that, that will give me access to the Bentley communities website, which contains a wide variety of information. So if I choose the MaxSurf offshore one here, you'll see we have the latest postings that have been put on the server. There's news, a number of file resources that are available, and also a number of forums. This is an area where you can actually, if you go to the structural analysis forum, you can post questions if you like. The other place you can go to is learning paths, for instance. This gives you access to the Bentley Institute, which has a number of relevant training material for MaxSurf and all the other Bentley applications. So here you can see we've got the MaxSurf Modeler Fundamentals. If I click on that, we'll see we've got some information about MaxSurf Modeler, modeling designs in MaxSurf, as well as MaxSurf stability. The other thing you can do is, if you need more detailed technical support, you can submit a service request, and this will go to our technical support staff. So basically just fill in all the information here, give us as detailed an account of what your problem is as possible, and if at all possible, upload any sample files or images, screen captures that help explain what your problem is. The other things we have are the Bentley Learning Conferences, as well as the Bentley Be Inspired Conference, which highlights some of the key